The screaming starts before you see them. You are standing at the prow of a longship, salt spray cutting your face like a blade, and the coast of Frankia is rising out of the gray dawn mist. Behind you, 40 men are pulling oars in silence. No war cries yet, not yet. Just the rhythmic groan of wood and the soft crash of waves against the hull. Then the horn sounds, one long, low note, and the silence breaks. The oars slam down, men rise. You grip the iron rim of your shield and feel the ship surge forward. Its dragon prow splitting the shallow water, hull grinding against sand. You leap before it stops. Cold water rushes over your boots. The village ahead is just beginning to wake. But let us go back. Back to before the horn, before the sea, before the blade. Back to the world that made you into this. You were born into a world with no soft edges. Your home is the western coast of Norway, a narrow strip of land wedged between mountains so steep and black they block the sun until mid-morning, and a sea so vast and cold that men who sail east do not always return. The year is 900 AD. Power here is local, personal, and carved with iron. You wake before light. The longhouse is a single long hall, timber walls, a fire trench running down the middle, sleeping benches along both sides. Smoke hangs thick near the roof. The smell is wood smoke, damp wool, dried fish, and animals. You pull on your woolen tunic, strap your belt, and step outside. The fjord is pale silver in the pre-dawn gray. You are not a fisherman today. Today there is work at the boat shed. Your longship has been in dry dock since late autumn. She is 30 meters long, built from overlapping oak planks so thin the hull can flex in heavy seas without breaking. She is called Úlfhédinn, the wolf coat. You know every plank of her. New tar needs working into the hull seams. Ropes need inspection. The sail, a great square of wool dyed in red and ochre stripes, needs to be checked for rot. The Jarl moves among the men as they work. His name is Gunnar Haraldsson, and his reputation stretches from the Orkney Islands to the rivers of the Rus. He does not shout, he watches. The men around him work harder when he is near, not from fear, but from something more complicated. Pride, the desire to be noticed by a man whose notice matters. By mid-morning, the tar work is done. Dried mutton, flatbread, thin ale. You eat standing, watching the fjord. Then Gunnar speaks. He does not make a speech. He simply says, "We sail in 4 days." The word spreads through the settlement like fire through dry grass. Wives check equipment. Mothers grow quieter at meals. You feel it in your chest. Something between fear and hunger. A sharpening of attention. What are you bringing? A round linden-wood shield with an iron boss at the center. A single-edged sword inherited from your father. Heavy, practical, built for the brutal close work of a shield wall. A long seax knife at your belt. A wool cloak with a bronze pin. Dried food for 2 weeks. You pack light. The ship cannot carry luxuries. The destination is the Frankish coast. The Carolingian Empire is fracturing, and the Western kingdoms are tearing at each other. Rivers are highways deep into the continent. Monasteries sit at river bends, wealthy and poorly defended. Your people have worked these same rivers for over 100 years. Which tides to use? Which lords pay silver to make you leave, rather than risk the alternative? This is a raiding economy, not a war. Efficient and cold. On the morning of sailing, the village comes to the shore. Gunnar makes a short offering at a carved wooden post, lips moving. Then he turns and walks to the ship without looking back. The fjord carries you out in silence, the village shrinking until it is just smoke against the mountain wall. Then open sea catches the sail and suddenly you are moving fast. A hull designed over generations to find the angle where resistance disappears. 2 days of open water. You sleep in short rotations, wrapped in oiled wool. Food is eaten cold. Gunnar navigates by stars, by the color of the sea, by the feel of the swell under the hull. He has no instruments. He does not need them. On the second night, the stars disappear behind cloud, and you sail blind. Men who are usually loud say nothing for hours. Then, just after midnight, someone at the prow speaks, quietly, the way men speak when they are completely certain. Land. The coast comes gray and flat out of the dawn fog. The river mouth, the sandbar on the left, the church tower just visible above the tree line. Exactly as Gunnar described. You have never been here. You know exactly where you are? The ship turns into the river mouth. Oars go in silently. On both banks, flat farmland still sleeping in morning mist. A heron lifts off the reeds and is gone. The world is completely quiet. Then a dog barks. Somewhere ahead, a dog barks and does not stop. Gunnar raises his fist. The ship goes still, drifting on the current. Every man holds his breath. A human voice calls out in the distance. And then silence. And then nothing. Gunnar lowers his fist. The oars go back in the water. You grip the iron rim of your shield. Your heartbeat is very loud. What follows is over faster than it takes to describe. The village is small. A stone church, a mill, docks with 2 flat-bottomed riverboats. There is silver in the church. There is grain in a storehouse. The calculation is commercial, not theatrical. The Norse of 900 AD are running a raiding economy, and they are very good at it. By mid-morning, you are back on the river. By nightfall, you are at sea. You look back at the flat Frankish shore until darkness swallows it. You feel something unexpected. Not triumph, not guilt, but a hollow flatness. The silence after overwhelming noise. You eat, you take your turn at the oar. The stars come out. 3 weeks later, you are home. The fjord closes around the ship like cupped hands. Children run to the shoreline. Women count the men coming off the ship. Relief or grief, depending on what they count. Your share of the silver is 6 ounces, enough to buy a sword or 2 sheep, or a length of good cloth, enough to matter. That night the hall is full. Fire burns the length of the room. A skald begins to sing, not about today's raid, but about something older. Heroes who moved through a world so dangerous and beautiful that the only honest response was to walk toward it, eyes open, afraid, and alive. You listen, the fire settles. Outside, the fjord is black and perfectly still. Your descendants will be Normans, Russians, English earls. The longship itself will eventually evolve into vessels that carry explorers across the Atlantic. The threads run further than you can see from this fire, from this hall, in this year of 900 AD. But that is later. Right now the ale is good, and the skald is singing, and you are alive, which here, in this world, is never something anyone takes for granted. If this journey moved something in you, press like. It tells the algorithm that history still matters. Subscribe for more first-person journeys through the ancient world. And tell me in the comments, which moment would have broken you first? The open sea in darkness, or the silence just before the dog stopped barking?